Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 2nd of July. Starting off with the S&P, where we're in this broadening triangle, which has been in place since May last year. Top of the triangle there, 63.30. That's what we're looking for by the end of this month, and we're looking for that while we're above recent resistance, 61.47, which was the old February peak before the tariff debacle. Obviously, looking slightly tired after all the gains that we've had, but it was an unfilled gap through resistance that we had last week. So, looking very strong on that basis alone. And as I said, that 63.30 area hopefully on tap by the end of next month. Moving along to the Nasdaq, and here picture is of market which is at the highs. The old resistance 22,200 above that we've been looking for up to 23,000 and looking for that by the end of this month, which hopefully will not be too much of a task while we're above 22,200. The stocks are next, and reasonable collection today, starting off with something which is a bit of a flyer, and you'll see why in a second. API Group, rising trend channel there since March. We're kind of in the middle of the channel at the moment, and even though yesterday was a negative day, we're hopefully finding support at the floor of the old gap there from last month, around $33. The longer we can stay above $33, the greater the chance of a move up to the top of the channel, as high as $37 by the end of this month. Worst case scenario is we're going to head down to the floor of the channel there around $32 before we head higher. Few stocks which are flying at the moment. One is Blue Gold, and here almost unchartable, but there are a few things to go by. The Monday's open around $62, hopefully a potential support point, and an end of day close above Monday's close around $78 could give us a retest of the $110 plus target, which is derived from Monday's high. Next on the list, another moving situation, and here we've got Bionexus actually blowing the doors off our old target there around $5.30, which was a broadening triangle base potentially. Current situation is we're looking towards that old spike from the beginning of the year around $8.30, so maybe any dips towards that zone could be an opportunity to then get long and then try and retest the $14 plus high of yesterday, but obviously that situation not for widows and orphans. ClearOne, another jumping situation, and in this case we've got the old resistance from back at the end of March around $10. That should hopefully become new support. Obviously pre-market we're at $9, so we may have to look a bit lower than that. The May resistance $8.90, so maybe that's a more realistic support point as we look for the shares to then retest March and July resistance over the near term. Current situation at Epsium is of interest. We've got a rising trend channel here, bear trap rebound from below the 50-day line at $14.76, and above that 50-day line, looking with the shares to hit the top of that rising trend channel, $24 by the end of this month, or hopefully much sooner than that. Next on the list is Jowell, and here, nice curved turnaround there for the 50-day moving average. We've broken post-March resistance there, $2.40. Above that, we're looking at the top of the range, $3.30 by the end of this month. On to Mustang, and here the shares, after a rather torrid time on the left-hand side of the chart, have broken through all the recent resistance around $1.50. Above that, looking for the top of that broadening triangle there as high as $3.50 by the end of this month. The bearish divergence in there pushing this situation along. We've also got the way the 50-day line is rising at the moment at $1.19, and hopefully that will power the stock higher. Any dips towards that 50-day line currently regarded as buy opportunities on a technical basis. NetCapital has sort of exceeded expectations. We had an initial target there at $3.60, then $4.90, then up to $6.80, above $6.80. Looking for the shares to get up to $12 plus by the end of the month, which is the upper parallel of the other two upper parallel lines we've got there, and the upside hopefully valid while we're above that third target there at $6.80. Covered RedCloud, I think, earlier this week, and we're back again. The The line there that I've drawn around $3 was a potential support area. I think we went slightly below that, but $2.65. But you get the message. The old peak there, $5, and that's what we're looking for again, especially while we're above resistance on the way down around the $4 mark. The last two are next. First one is a repeat from recently, Sonder Holdings, and here just approaching our first target there, broadening triangle target there around $3.70. Above that, looking for $5.20 by the end of this month, and ideally we stay above the older April resistance at $3, which the pre-market we're just about doing. The charting position at Vivos is next, and here we've broken recent resistance. We need to stay above there around 380 on an end of day close basis. So if we get that today, then we are looking for further progress, perhaps up to $6 by the end of next month. But the key is staying on the right side of 380, which at the moment, pre-market, we are not doing. Finishing off with Verint, which had a bit of an M&A news yesterday, a possible M&A news, and here the shares spiked and then have actually recovered, looking for the top of the range anyway at $24, while we're above recent support around $18.60. I suppose the lowest there would be the 50-day line at $17.84. So let's say above that, we are looking for $24, whatever the fundamentals will dictate. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.